What if the walls of an old mansion could tell stories of fear, tragedy, and the supernatural? This is the chilling tale of a seemingly haunted estate that holds secrets darker than anyone could have imagined. Is it just folklore, or is something sinister at play? Nestled in the heart of a small town, the mansion's history dates back to the early 1900s. Built by a wealthy family, it quickly became the center of local gossip due to its opulent decor and mysterious inhabitants. But what lies beneath this facade of wealth and grandeur? The mansion was home to the renowned Hawthorne family, known for their lavish parties and philanthropic efforts. However, beneath their glamorous exterior, family tragedies began to unfold, casting a shadow over their reputation. What horrors were hidden behind these walls? The first strike of tragedy came with the untimely death of the matriarch Eleanor Hawthorne. Found lifeless in her favorite room, locals whispered of a curse. Was it mere coincidence, or did the mansion harbor dark forces? Following Eleanor's death, reports of strange occurrences began to surface. Footsteps echoed through empty halls, whispers floated in the air, and cold spots appeared throughout the mansion. Was the spirit of Eleanor still watching over her home? As the years passed, the mansion changed hands multiple times, yet each owner reported eerie encounters. One couple claimed to have seen a figure in white gliding down the staircase, while another insisted they felt an unseen presence in their bedroom. What were they experiencing? In the 1980s, the mansion was abandoned after a fire destroyed part of it. Locals attributed the fire to the mansion's curse, leading to countless urban legends. Was this the mansion's way of purging its dark history? Despite its abandoned state, thrill seekers and paranormal investigators flocked to the site, eager to uncover its secrets. Some claimed to capture ghostly images on camera, while others reported feeling a heavy weight in the air. What evidence could they find? In 1995, a documentary crew attempted to film a special on the mansion, hoping to document the haunting phenomena. As they set up their equipment, strange things began to happen. Lights flickered, shadows moved, and one crew member reported hearing a chilling voice. Was the mansion trying to communicate? Amid the chaos, a local historian uncovered a shocking truth. The mansion was built on land once inhabited by a tribe that suffered from violent conflicts. Did the bloodshed of the past leave a lingering presence in the mansion? Further digging revealed that the Hawthorne family had dark secrets of their own, including hidden debts and tragedies that plagued their lineage. Could these financial struggles have led to a curse haunting the mansion? As the investigation unfolded, more bizarre occurrences were reported. A paranormal expert claimed that the mansion's energy fluctuated with the phases of the moon. Was there a connection between the supernatural and the lunar cycle? With each revelation, the mansion's legend grew, drawing in more researchers eager to solve its mysteries. But as they delved deeper, some began to fear the mansion's grip, experiencing nightmares and unexplained phenomena. Had they awakened something, local authorities were eventually called to assess the safety of the mansion. Concerns over trespassers and safety hazards led to a controversial decision. Should the mansion be preserved or demolished? In a surprising twist, a wealthy benefactor stepped forward, advocating for the mansion's preservation as a historical site. Could the mansion's rich history and the mystery behind it save it from destruction? Despite the support, the mansion's future remains uncertain. As preservation efforts continue, the haunting tales of the Hawthorne family and their mansion linger, captivating all who hear them. Will the truth ever be revealed? Today, the mansion stands as a testament to its troubled past, awaiting further exploration. It remains a place that invites curiosity, fear, and speculation. What other secrets does it hold within its walls? As we uncover the layers of this haunted estate, we must ask ourselves, can we truly understand the events that transpired within its walls? Or are we merely scratching the surface of a much deeper mystery? The haunted mansion continues to loom large in the collective consciousness of the community. Whether a mere relic of the past or a vessel of unexplainable mysteries, it compels us to ponder our own beliefs about life, death, and what lies beyond. How does this story resonate with you? As whispers of the mansion's dark past spread, locals began to recount their encounters. They described flickering lights, disembodied voices, and an unsettling feeling of being watched, all of which intensified the allure of the property. One evening, a local historian decided to investigate the mansion after dark. Armed with only a flashlight and a camera, he documented his experience. His footage captured strange phenomena that would later baffle experts. What he recorded was disturbing: sudden cold spots, objects inexplicably moving, and a shadowy figure briefly appearing in the corner of his lens. The historian felt a chill run down his spine as he reviewed the footage later. Local ghost hunters took interest in his findings, prompting investigations that drew media attention. Each new revelation only seemed to deepen the enigma surrounding the mansion as more people shared their tales of terror. Among the most chilling accounts was that of a young couple who spent a night inside, claiming to have heard laughter echoing through the halls. Their story quickly went viral, sparking a wave of curiosity and trepidation. Curiosity turned into a frenzy as thrill seekers flocked to the mansion, hoping to capture proof of the supernatural. But with each visit, the line between fascination and fear began to blur for many. An investigative team known for their work on paranormal cases set up an extensive examination. They brought in mediums and psychics, hoping to communicate with any spirits that might remain trapped within the mansion's walls. During one session, a psychic claimed to have made contact with a child's spirit named Emily, who had allegedly lived in the mansion many years ago. The revelation reignited local interest in the mansion's history. As Emily's story unfolded, it was revealed that she had mysteriously vanished from the mansion decades earlier. This shocking revelation added layers to the existing lore and fueled theories about the mansion's sinister past. With the community now deeply invested, a dedicated group formed to uncover the truth about Emily's disappearance. They sifted through archives, interviewed locals, and pieced together clues that pointed toward a darker reality. Their efforts revealed unsettling connections between the mansion and a series of tragic events that had plagued the area over the years. Each revelation painted a more sinister picture of the mansion's history. As they dug deeper, the group uncovered records of previous owners who had suffered untimely deaths, fueling rumors that the mansion was cursed. The locals were both terrified and fascinated by this emerging narrative. Rumors spread that the mansion had been built on sacred ground, which only added to the chilling rumors. With each new story, the line between fact and fiction continued to blur. Despite the growing tension, the haunted mansion became an unwilling star of documentary films and paranormal shows. Its eerie tales found a new audience, captivating viewers with the promise of uncovering the truth. Viewers were drawn to live streams and online discussions about the mansion, each person eager to share their theories and experiences. The mansion had transformed into a symbol of both fear and fascination. As stories continued to circulate, a virtual community emerged, with forums dedicated to investigating the mansion's mysteries. This collective effort brought together believers and skeptics alike, igniting passionate debates. Meanwhile, the mansion itself began to deteriorate, standing as a silent witness to the unfolding drama. Its crumbling facade seemed to echo the growing tension between the past and present. As the physical state of the mansion worsened, so did the rumors. Some claimed that the spirits of those who perished within its walls were becoming restless, causing disturbances that could be felt by anyone who dared to enter. Investigators reported increased paranormal activity during the nights of full moons, further deepening the belief in the mansion's otherworldly presence. This alignment of celestial events added a new layer to the mystery. With rising curiosity and fears, a local festival was planned to honor the mansion's history. This event aimed to educate the community about its past while also embracing its eerie mystique. During the festival, ghost tours were organized, allowing guests to explore the mansion under the guidance of seasoned paranormal investigators. The atmosphere was charged with excitement and trepidation as tales were shared. As the night wore on, the group ventured into the mansion's basement, a place rumored to be the source of much of the paranormal activity. The air grew thick with anticipation and fear as they descended into darkness. Once inside, they encountered unusual phenomena: cold drafts, sudden noises, and inexplicable feelings of dread. Each moment heightened the sense of the supernatural, as if the mansion itself was alive. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from above, sending everyone into a frenzy. Was it merely an old part of the mansion giving way, or something far more sinister? Panic rippled through the group as they exchanged fearful glances. The tour guide, trying to maintain calm, urged everyone to stay together. But as they attempted to regroup, a chilling voice seemed to whisper from the shadows, prompting a desperate rush for the stairs. As they fled the basement, the atmosphere shifted. The mansion seemed to pulse with energy, leaving them shaken but yearning for answers. The haunting mysteries of the mansion were far from over. As the group stumbled up the stairs, the oppressive atmosphere of the mansion seemed to close in around them. They reached the ground floor, where the flickering lights cast long shadows that danced ominously along the walls. Whispers echoed in their minds, urging them to uncover the truth hidden within the mansion's dark past. They gathered in the parlor, a room adorned with vintage furniture and photos of the mansion's former residents. Each piece told a story, but one portrait caught their attention: a young woman with a hauntingly melancholic expression. Who was she, and what connection did she have to the strange occurrences? Determined to find answers, they scoured the mansion for clues. Hidden beneath a dusty floorboard, they discovered a tattered diary. Its pages revealed a story of tragedy and betrayal, detailing the life of the woman in the portrait, Isabella, a former resident who mysteriously vanished decades ago. The diary described Isabella's troubled life, filled with secrets and heartache. It hinted at a forbidden love affair with a local man, one that was frowned upon by her family. As they read, the tension in the room escalated, mirroring Isabella's own desperation and isolation. Just then, a loud bang echoed from the hallway, sending everyone into a panic. Their hearts raced as they exchanged nervous glances, each wondering if the mansion itself was reacting to their discoveries. Cautiously, they moved towards the source of the sound, adrenaline coursing through their veins. As they approached the door, they hesitated, the air thick with tension. One member of the group bravely pushed it open, revealing a dark room filled with old furniture covered in white sheets. In the corner, an antique mirror reflected their anxious faces. But something seemed off. Was there a figure standing just behind them? They turned quickly, but the figure vanished, leaving only the chill of fear in the air. Trying to shake off the unease, they began to explore the room, uncovering more remnants of Isabella's life: a locket, a broken music box, and a faded letter, all hinting at her tragic fate. The letter revealed Isabella's desperate plea to escape her confines, a longing for freedom from the oppressive family that held her captive. Each line spoke of her torment, and it became clear that her life had been filled with sorrow and unfulfilled dreams. What happened to her after she wrote this? Suddenly, the lights flickered violently, plunging the room into darkness. Panic erupted as they scrambled to find a light source, their breaths quickening in the suffocating silence. Was this the mansion's way of warning them to leave, or was it a sign that they were getting closer to uncovering the truth? Finally, one of them found a flashlight illuminating the room once more. As the beam swept across the floor, they noticed something glinting beneath a sheet. With trembling hands, they pulled it away to reveal an old phonograph, its surface adorned with dust and memories waiting to be uncovered. Curiosity piqued, they carefully placed a record onto the phonograph. As the needle dropped, a haunting melody filled the air, echoing through the mansion's halls. In that moment, they felt a connection to Isabella, as if her spirit was guiding them to uncover the truth of her tragic story. As the music played, memories began flooding back. Each note seemed to resonate with the energy of the mansion, intensifying the atmosphere surrounding them. The group felt as if the walls were alive, whispering secrets of the past that had long been silenced. Suddenly, a loud crash interrupted their reverie, sending them back to reality. They raced toward the source of the noise, their hearts pounding in their chests. What new mystery awaited them, and could it be connected to Isabella's tragic fate? They entered a smaller room, where a window had shattered, glass strewn across the floor. As they collected themselves, one member noticed strange footprints in the dust, leading towards an old staircase. Who or what had been in this room, and where could it possibly lead? The footprints beckoned them forward, a silent invitation to uncover more secrets. With trepidation, they followed the trail, descending into an even darker part of the mansion. The air grew heavier, filled with the weight of the past as they approached yet another door, marked with an ominous symbol. As they opened the door, a musty scent enveloped them, revealing a hidden chamber adorned with remnants of past rituals. Candles lined the walls, and strange markings covered the floor. Had this been a place of worship, or something far more sinister? Among the remnants, they discovered a journal, much like Isabella's, filled with eerie illustrations and cryptic notes. It spoke of a secret society that once thrived in the mansion, shrouded in darkness and mystery. Could this be the link to Isabella's disappearance? As they delved into the journal's pages, the lights flickered ominously again. A sense of dread filled the room as they realized the society had ties to Isabella's family, revealing a web of deceit and betrayal that had led to her tragic fate. With each revelation, they felt the weight of Isabella's story pressing down upon them. It was as if the very walls of the mansion were crying out for justice, and they knew they had to uncover the truth no matter the cost. But what would they discover next? As they prepared to delve deeper into the mansion's mysteries, a sound echoed through the halls, chilling them to their core. The next chapter of Isabella's story awaited them, filled with suspense and danger. What would they uncover as they continued their search for answers? As they ventured further into the mansion, the air grew thick with tension, each creak of the floorboards echoing ominously. Isabella felt a cold chill grip her spine, and the group paused, unsure of what awaited them in the darkness ahead. Shadows danced on the walls, hinting at the mansion's troubled past. Suddenly, a loud bang resonated through the corridor, causing them all to jump back in fright. The sound seemed to come from a room at the end of the hall, its door slightly ajar, beckoning them closer. Was it just the wind, or something more sinister? With hesitant steps, they approached the door, hearts pounding in sync with the dim light flickering above. Isabella reached for the doorknob, an overwhelming sense of dread washing over her. What secrets lay behind that threshold? As the door swung open, a musty smell enveloped them, mixing with the scent of decay. Inside, the room was cluttered with furniture draped in dusty sheets, reminiscent of a time long gone. Isabella could almost hear whispers of the past, calling out to her. In the center of the room stood an old mirror, its surface foggy and cracked. Legend had it that this mirror held the souls of those who had met tragic ends in the mansion. As they stepped closer, the group felt a chill, as if the mirror was watching them. Isabella, feeling drawn to the mirror, reached out to touch its surface. Instantly, images flashed before her eyes, scenes of a family in distress, their faces twisted in fear. The mansion's history was suddenly alive, unraveling before her like a dark tapestry. The group gasped as they witnessed the tragic events unfold, each image more haunting than the last. They learned of Isabella's ancestors who had lived in the mansion and suffered unimaginable losses. The connection was undeniable. She was a part of this legacy. Suddenly, the mirror began to shimmer, and they felt an inexplicable pull towards it. Isabella's heart raced as she realized the mirror was not just a reflection of the past, but a portal to the mansion's painful history. What would they uncover next? The sounds of sobbing echoed through the room, seemingly coming from the mirror itself. Each tear represented the lost souls tied to the mansion, begging for their stories to be told. Isabella knew they had to listen, to honor their suffering. Determined to unveil the mansion's secrets, the group began documenting their findings, capturing every chilling detail. They found old letters and photographs hidden away, revealing the mansion's tragic timeline and the lives that were forever altered. Among the letters, Isabella uncovered a shocking revelation about her great-grandmother, who had mysteriously vanished from the mansion decades earlier. The clues hinted at foul play, intertwining her fate with the haunted history. As they pieced together the puzzle, they learned of a secret room hidden in the mansion. According to rumors, it held the key to understanding the tragic events that unfolded throughout the years. The group steeled themselves for what lay ahead. With renewed determination, they scoured the mansion, searching for any sign of the fabled room. Each creak and crack of the building played tricks on their minds, heightening their anxiety as they navigated the shadows. Suddenly, their flashlights caught a glimpse of a door that seemed out of place, covered in vines and dust. The moment felt electric, as if the mansion itself was alive, guiding them to the truth they sought. As they pushed the door open, it creaked loudly, echoing through the empty space. What lay beyond was a small chamber filled with remnants of the past, a diary, a locket, and artifacts that spoke of love and loss. Isabella picked up the diary, her hands trembling as she opened it to reveal heartfelt entries written by her great-grandmother. Each word resonated with pain and longing, painting a vivid picture of a life once lived in the mansion's shadow. The entries revealed a tale of forbidden love, betrayal, and a secret that could dismantle everything the family held dear. Isabella found herself immersed in the drama, feeling the weight of her ancestors' struggles. Suddenly, a strange noise interrupted her reading, a low growl emanating from the shadows. The group exchanged alarmed glances, realizing they were not alone. Was the mansion protecting its secrets or warning them to leave? Overwhelmed by the sensation of being watched, the group decided to leave the chamber, clutching the diary tightly. As they exited, the air shifted, and an eerie silence enveloped them, amplifying their fear. Back in the main hall, they gathered around a table to discuss their findings. Each member contributed pieces of information, weaving a story that was as compelling as it was terrifying. Together, they began to connect the dots of Isabella's family history. As the night deepened, the atmosphere grew heavier, and shadows seemed to lurk in the corners. They could feel the weight of the mansion's history pressing down on them, urging them to uncover the full truth before it was too late. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the upper floors, sending shivers down their spines. Isabella and her friends exchanged terrified looks, realizing that whatever haunted the mansion wanted to make its presence known. Fueled by both fear and curiosity, they decided to investigate the noise. Climbing the stairs, they could hear faint whispers that seemed to guide them. Was the mansion trying to communicate with them? Reaching the top, they found themselves in a long hallway adorned with portraits of the mansion's former residents. Each face seemed to follow them, eyes filled with untold stories. Isabella felt an unsettling connection to them. In the center of the hallway, a door stood slightly ajar, emanating a flickering light. It felt like a siren's call, inviting them into the unknown. With a mixture of dread and excitement, they approached the door together. As they entered the room, they discovered an old study filled with dusty books and artifacts. A large desk stood at the center, covered in yellowed papers that hinted at the mansion's dark dealings. Isabella's attention was drawn to a leather-bound ledger on the desk. As she opened it, her heart raced. It contained records of mysterious transactions and names associated with the mansion's tragic history, including her own family members. The ledger revealed that Isabella's ancestors were involved in dealings that hinted at betrayal and greed. Dark figures lurked in the margins of the ledger, their identities hidden in shadows. What had they done to deserve such a grim legacy? Suddenly, the lights flickered, and a chill filled the room. The atmosphere shifted, as if the spirits of the past were rising to confront their dark legacy. The group stood frozen, caught between fear and the urge to uncover the truth. Isabella felt a surge of energy compelling her to confront the ledger's contents. She realized that understanding her family's past was crucial to breaking the cycle of tragedy that had haunted them for generations. With newfound resolve, they began to piece together a timeline of events from the ledger, matching it with the diary entries they had discovered earlier. The connection started to paint a clearer picture of the turmoil that plagued Isabella's family. Meanwhile, a sudden gust of wind rattled the windows, and the temperature dropped. They could almost hear the whispers growing louder, pushing them to uncover the final piece of the puzzle before it was too late. As they continued their research, they stumbled upon an old newspaper clippings revealing a tragic fire that had consumed part of the mansion decades ago. The clippings hinted at foul play and hinted at the sinister events that preceded the tragedy. The group was captivated as they read about the mansion's past, tied to hidden rivalries and secret romances that had led to the fire. Isabella felt the weight of these stories, their impact echoing through time. Suddenly, Isabella felt a cold hand grasp her shoulder. She turned, heart pounding, to find a spectral figure standing behind her, a woman clad in a flowing dress, her face a mask of sorrow, as if she sought the truth. The figure pointed towards the ledger, and Isabella realized this was no ordinary ghost. It was her great-grandmother, desperately trying to communicate the hidden truths that had been buried for years. Trembling, Isabella reached out to the figure, feeling a connection that transcended time. The moment was surreal. She could sense the pain and regret emanating from her great-grandmother's spirit. Isabella's friends looked on in disbelief, unsure of what to make of the haunting encounter, but deep down they felt the urgency to help Isabella uncover the truth for her family, to finally bring peace to their restless spirits. As the spectral figure began to fade, Isabella felt a rush of emotions: fear, sadness, and a newfound determination to uncover the truth. The connection they shared transcended beyond this world, urging her to act. With the weight of her family's history now more pressing than ever, Isabella turned back to the ledger. She felt the urgency to decode the hidden messages within, to unveil the secrets that had long been concealed. The group worked tirelessly, unraveling the ledger's secrets and cross-referencing them with the diary entries. They were determined to piece together the narrative that would explain the tragic events that haunted Isabella's family. As they wrote down their findings, a sudden chill swept through the room, causing the candles to flicker. They could feel the spirit's presence guiding them toward the truth they had been seeking all along. In a moment of clarity, Isabella pieced together that the fire had not been an accident. The ledger revealed a plot against her great-grandmother, orchestrated by someone close to her family. A betrayal that had caused unimaginable pain. The realization hit them like a thunderbolt. They had to confront the descendants of those responsible. If they were to break the cycle of tragedy, they needed to hold the guilty accountable, even decades later. As they prepared for the confrontation, the atmosphere grew tense, filled with anxiety and anticipation. Each member of the group realized that they were not just uncovering a family story, they were unearthing a dark chapter of history that affected many. The night before the confrontation, Isabella dreamt of the mansion, the spirits swirling around her, urging her to seek justice for her family. Awaking with newfound strength, she felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. As dawn broke, the group gathered outside the mansion one last time, their hearts heavy with the weight of their mission. They understood that the truth was not just for Isabella, it was for all who had suffered within those walls. Armed with their evidence and a fierce resolve, they approached the descendants of those responsible. Their journey was not just about uncovering history, but seeking justice for a past that had long been buried. As they stood before the descendants, they presented their findings, recounting the tragedies and injustices that had plagued Isabella's family for generations. It was a confrontation that would reverberate throughout the community. The descendants listened, expressions of shock and disbelief crossing their faces. For the first time, the dark past was brought to light, forcing them to confront the repercussions of their ancestors' actions. As the confrontation unfolded, emotions ran high. Some descendants expressed remorse, while others vehemently denied any wrongdoing. The tension in the room was palpable, showcasing the complexities of guilt and responsibility. Amidst the chaos, Isabella stood firm, advocating for the truth. She recalled the pain her family had endured, emphasizing the need to acknowledge the past to heal the wounds that had festered for too long. In a pivotal moment, one descendant broke down, confessing that their family had suppressed the truth for decades. This admission sent ripples through the crowd, forcing everyone to reevaluate their understanding of the past. As conversations continued, the barriers began to lower, and a dialogue emerged. The descendants expressed a desire to make amends, seeking ways to honor the memories of those lost to history's cruel hands. Isabella stood back, watching as the descendants began to share their own family stories. The lines of division blurred, and a collective understanding started to take root, suggesting a path toward healing and reconciliation. As the day wore on, the tension that had once filled the air began to dissipate. Conversations turned from accusations to shared grief, and an unexpected bond began to form amidst the remnants of pain. Isabella felt a sense of relief wash over her as the descendants expressed their commitment to preserving the mansion's history and honoring those lost. This was a moment of transformation, a pivotal point in the journey toward healing. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the mansion, the group gathered for a final toast, celebrating their newfound understanding and connections. The ghosts of the past seemed to whisper a thank you, finally at peace. In the aftermath, Isabella continued to spend time at the mansion, documenting the stories of her ancestors and the descendants of those who had once wronged them. It became a place of remembrance and healing. As the months passed, the mansion transformed from a site of tragedy to a beacon of hope, where visitors now came to learn about its history and honor those who had suffered. It became a space for education and reflection. Isabella's efforts inspired a community initiative focused on preserving local history, ensuring that stories of the past would not fade away. The mansion became a symbol of resilience and unity against the shadows of its history. In time, the ghosts of the mansion were no longer seen as vengeful spirits but as guides, helping to navigate the treacherous waters of history. The mansion stood as a testament to the power of truth and healing. Isabella often reflected on her journey, grateful for the connections forged and the lessons learned. The mansion had given her the strength to embrace her family's history, turning pain into purpose. The story of the haunted mansion would live on, not just as a tale of tragedy, but as a narrative of resilience and redemption. Its history, once shrouded in darkness, now illuminated by the courage to confront the past. As Isabella continued to preserve her family's legacy, she realized that the true haunting was not the ghosts of the past, but the silence that had once surrounded their stories. Now, they would never be forgotten.